Welcome to the Nightmare Zoo, where every cage holds something that should never exist and every story bites back. These aren't just tales. They're warnings. Twisted, rotting truths that will follow you long after the screen fades to black. Listener discretion is not just advised. It's mandatory. Some things, once heard, cannot be unheard. Subscribe, if you dare. Like, share, and feed the darkness that keeps this zoo alive. Your support fuels the monsters. They're always hungry.
How to Kill a Wendigo, a cryptid hunter's tale. Forget what you know. Forget the campfire stories, the Hollywood nonsense. Killing a Wendigo? It ain't about bravery. It's about survival. Pure, ugly, bone-deep survival. And I'm the fool who learned how. The hard way. Paid for this knowledge in blood and frostbite and screams that still echo in the frozen pines. Listen close. This is how you end a god of hunger and cold. Step 1. Find it. The easy part that will haunt you. You don't hunt the Wendigo. It hunts you. Always. Feel that unnatural chill creeping into your bones on a still night? Smell that sweet rot, like spoiled venison in open graves, carried on a wind that shouldn't be blowing? Hear the whispers? Not voices. Not exactly. Sounds like dry leaves skittering over ice. Like old bones rattling deep underground. That's it. Calling. Taunting. It wants you lost. It wants you scared. It feeds on the despair. Track the silence. Where the woods go dead. No owls. No wind in the pines. Just that crushing, watchful quiet. Follow the cold. The deeper it bites, the closer you are. You'll find its marks. Deer frozen solid, hollowed out like gruesome ice sculptures. Rib cages cracked open like rotten firewood. Organs gone, just dark ice where the life cooled. Look for the prints. Huge, bipedal, like a man's foot stretched on a rack, ending in points too sharp, too deep. And the ash. Gray powder like grave dust sprinkled on the snow. Smelling of endings. That's your trail. It leads to madness. Step 2. The trap, where you become bait. You can't outrun it. Can't hide. Its speed is unnatural. A blur of gray skin and jagged bone against the snow. It flows like freezing water. You need fire. Big fire. Bonfire big. Gather dry wood. Lots. Pine resin if you can find it. Burns hot, burns fast. Build it in a clearing. Open ground. Now, the hard part. You bleed. Cut your palm. Deep. Let the hot, red iron scent spill onto the snow. Your fear? Let it boil. Let your heart hammer like a war drum. The Wendigo smells blood. Smells terror. It craves it. That's the lure. Stand near the fire, but not too near. Feel the heat on your face. Remember that warmth. It's the last comfort you'll know. Wait. Listen past the crackling flames. For the hiss. Not a snake. Like steam escaping a frozen tomb. Low, guttural, hungry. That's it coming. Feel the temperature plummet. See your breath freeze instantly. See the firelight dim, as if the cold itself is swallowing the light. It's here. Standing at the tree line. Tall, emaciated, skin like gray parchment stretched over a skeleton of ice. Antlers? Bone spurs. Twisted, broken, reaching for the black sky. No lips, just a rictus grin of yellowed, shattered icicle teeth. Eyes like chips of dirty glacier ice, glowing with cold blue fire. Starving fire. It looks at you, through you. It sees meat. It sees warmth to devour. It steps into the clearing. Step 3. The fight, where you dance with death and frostbite. Fire hurts it, scares it. The Wendigo flinches from the roaring heat. Hisses like cracking ice. That's your moment, your only moment. You need silver, pure silver, a blade, an axe head, something heavy. Cold iron hurts it too, slows it. But silver? Silver burns. Don't charge. You'll die before you blink. Move with the fire. Keep the flames between you and it. Circle. Force it to skirt the heat. It's fast. Unbelievably fast. It lunges. Not at you. At the fire. Trying to scatter it with those massive clawed hands. Claws like black icicles. That's your opening. Sidestep. Feel the frozen wind of its passage. Smell the grave rot stench. Swing the silver. Don't aim to kill. Aim to wound. The leg. The arm. Connect. The sound is unholy. Flesh sizzles. Not like cooking meat. Like ice hitting a red-hot stove. A screech tears from its lipless maw. A sound of pure, outraged agony that cracks the frozen air. Black, tarry blood sprays. Smells like burnt ozone and decay. It stumbles. The cold fire in its eyes flares with pain and fury. Now, press the attack. Keep it off balance. Drive it towards the fire. It's stronger than anything natural. A backhand swipe sends you flying. Feels like being hit by a truck made of ice. Ribs crack. Agony blooms hot in your chest. Ignore it. Ignore the cold seeping into your bones, whispering surrender. Ignore the gnawing emptiness in your gut. It's trying to push into you. The hungry, get up. Always get up. Swing the silver again. Hack. Burn. Drive it back. Back towards the roaring flames. Step 4. The kill, where the real horror lives. Fire and silver weaken it, but they don't kill it. Not truly. To kill a Wendigo, you must destroy the heart. The frozen, black lump of ice where its soul should be. It's buried deep. Protected by ribs harder than ironwood. You need leverage. You need it down. Lure it over the fire. Make it stumble on the burning logs. Or wait for it to lunge, reckless with pain and hunger, and dodge at the last second. Let its momentum carry it crashing into the heart of the blaze. It screams. A sound that shatters glass miles away. Flames lick its gray flesh. It doesn't burn like wood. It melts. Skin sloughs off like wet parchment, revealing glistening muscle and bone beneath, already blackening. The stench is vomit-inducing. Burnt hair, rotten meat, chemical ice. It thrashes. A monstrous insect pinned in fire. This is your chance. Your last chance. Ignore the searing heat. Ignore the freezing cold radiating from its core. Leap onto its back. Feel the unnatural chill burn through your clothes. Feel the hate radiating from it like a physical force. Grab a bone spur. Haul yourself up. Find the center of its chest. Between those prison bar ribs. Raise the silver. High. Put every ounce of fear, every ounce of hate, every ounce of stolen warmth into the blow. Drive it down. Hard. Harder than you've ever struck anything. The silver punches through gray skin, black muscle, and hits the heart. It doesn't thud. It cracks, like glacier ice splitting. A wave of absolute, soul-numbing cold explodes outwards. It throws you clear. You hit the frozen ground. Breath knocked out. Vision graying. The Wendigo convulses. Violently. Its scream cuts off abruptly. The blue fire in its eyes winks out. The body, it doesn't just fall. It collapses. Inwards, like a rotten log. Skin turns brittle, shatters. Bones crumble to gray ash. The antlers dissolve like smoke. Within seconds, only a pile of foul-smelling ash remains, rapidly covered by the falling snow, and the crushing silence returns. Deeper than before. The aftermath. The price. You did it. You killed the god of winter hunger. You're alive, but you're not whole. The cold it radiated, it got inside you. Deep. Your cracked ribs ache with a chill no fire can touch. Your fingers are black with frostbite. You'll lose some. Maybe a lot. The hunger, that gnawing emptiness it forced into your mind, it lingers. a phantom ache, a whisper in the back of your skull, especially on cold, quiet nights, telling you warm blood tastes sweet, telling you despair is delicious. You'll see its lipless grin in your nightmares. Feel that bone-deep cold in your soul. You carry a piece of the Wendigo with you now, forever. The knowledge of how to kill it is written in scars and frostbite, and a hunger that can never be truly filled. So remember, when the deep cold comes, when the silence falls too heavy, when you smell that sweet rot on the wind, you know how to kill it. But ask yourself, is the price worth paying again? The Wendigo dies, but it takes a piece of you with it. Every single time, remember the fire, remember the silver, remember the cost, and pray you never hear the hiss again. Cryptid hunter warns of dogmen invading Ohio. Listen close. Ohio's woods, they've gone wrong, dead wrong. I hunt things. Things that gnaw bones in the black snow. Things that whisper curses in the desert wind. But Ohio? Something new is stalking these old forests and farmlands. Something that shouldn't exist. Dogmen. And they ain't lurking in the shadows anymore. They're invading. They're hunting. And God help anyone caught out after dark. It started quiet. Too quiet. Farmers out near Chillicothe, waking up to slaughter pens that looked like abattoirs. Livestock, not just killed, annihilated. Cows ripped apart like wet paper bags, legs torn clean off, steaming entrails painting the frosty grass. Horses, gutted, great ropes of intestine pulled out and draped over fence posts like macabre garlands. Pigs, heads ripped from their bodies with brute force, tossed aside like discarded toys. And the prints? Huge, monstrous, like a wolf's paw, but blown up, distorted. Black, like old oil. And the smell? Wet fur, thick and heavy, undercut with the sharp, metallic tang of fresh blood and something else, something rotten. Like meat left too long in a damp cellar. Then the dogs started vanishing. Big dogs, tough breeds, Rottweilers, German Shepherds. Guard dogs meant to protect. Gone. Vanished from backyards. Kennels ripped open from the outside. Not a struggle. Not a sound. Just gone. Leaving behind tufts of coarse, dark fur caught on chain link, reeking of that same wet dog rotten meat copper stench. And the silence, it deepened. No coyotes sang to the moon. No owls hooted in the pines. Just a suffocating, watchful quiet that pressed in on your ears, heavy as a funeral shroud. I saw my first one near Zaleski. Midnight. Fog curling off the rain-slicked blacktop like cold breath. Something loped across the road ahead. Not a deer bounding. Not a bear ambling. This thing? 7 feet tall if it stood upright, but it moved hunched, powerful shoulders rolling, muscles bunching under a pelt of coarse, patchy fur, greasy black and sickly gray. Its head, a nightmare wolf. Muzzle too long, too pointed, jaws hanging slack, revealing teeth like yellowed daggers. A thick, pink tongue lolled obscenely. But the eyes, Christ, the eyes. Not animal, not human. Feral yellow, burning with an intelligence colder than the grave and pure, undiluted hate. It turned its massive head, saw my headlights, didn't flinch, didn't run, just stared, right through the windshield, into me, cold, calculating, predatory. Then it simply melted backwards into the wall of pines, silent as falling snow, leaving only that vile stench hanging thick in the cold air. Rot and rage. Then they found the hiker, outside Circleville. What was left of him? His tent looked like it had been fed through a wood chipper. They dragged him 50 yards into the dripping undergrowth. They didn't eat him. They played with him. His rib cage was peeled open, like the lid of a gruesome lunchbox. Organs strewn around him like some sick, bloody picnic. His spine snapped in 3 places. His head twisted almost completely backwards on his ruined neck. His face frozen in a rictus of pure, unadulterated terror, eyes wide and staring at nothing. The ground around him was churned mud, huge, overlapping prints. More than one, working together. They move unnaturally fast. Silent ghosts covering impossible ground, until they strike. Then the sound, not a howl, a roar, guttural, primal, shattering the silence like glass. It vibrates deep in your chest, rattles your teeth, stops your heart cold in your ribs. Pure, animal fury given voice. And they're smart. Too damn smart. Trail cameras set for bears? Either avoided completely or found later, smashed, teeth marks scoring the hardened plastic and steel casings. Near Dayton, an old brick factory. I watched one scale the sheer wall. 4 stories. Claws like black iron pitons digging into mortar and brick like it was soft clay. Effortless, hunting something on the roof. Heard the screams. Short, wet, abruptly cut off. Then that heavy silence again. Bullets? Don't fool yourself. Near Portsmouth, a .308 slug hit one square in the shoulder. Saw the fur and flesh rip. Saw it stumble. Heard that unholy roar shake the trees. Then it laughed. A wet, hacking, gurgling sound that held no humor, only malice and contempt. It vanished into the twilight. Left a trail of thick, tarry blood that stank like battery acid and decay. They tracked it for a mile. Then the blood just stopped. No body. No trail. Gone, like smoke. They're spreading, fast, south to north. Deep woods to the ragged edges of suburbia. Pack sightings reported near the outer sprawl of Columbus. Lone hunters stalked through the manicured metroparks near Cleveland. They don't fear light. Saw one stand its ground under the harsh orange glare of a highway lamp near Toledo. Stared down a thundering semi-truck. Didn't blink. Just peeled back those black lips, bearing teeth longer than your fingers, yellowed and sharp as broken glass. A silent snarl. They leave messages. Gruesome calling cards. Found a deer carcass arranged near Akron. Head placed neatly on its own severed hindquarters. Front paws crossed delicately over its gaping, emptied belly. Mocking. A warning written in flesh and bone. Another, a family's missing German shepherd. Nailed to the broad side of a weathered barn door. Not with nails. With its own leg bones, sharpened and driven through the fur and into the wood. Spine used as a central stake. A grotesque trophy. The authorities? Deaf and blind. Rangers mutter about aggressive coyote hybrids or rogue bears. Cops file missing persons reports, hikers, campers, folks working late shifts, and shrug. The woods are hungry. The dogmen are feeding. They're not wolves. They're not bears. Forget what you think you know. These things, they feel ancient, pissed off, like they walked straight out of the deepest, blackest Appalachian hollows, took one look at Ohio, and decided it looked tasty. They hunt for the savage joy of it, for territory, for the raw, bloody thrill of tearing flesh and snapping bone. Feel that silence in the woods behind your house? Too deep, too absolute. Smell that coppery rot carried on a sudden chill wind? Find huge misshapen tracks pressed deep into the soft earth near your trash cans one morning? Hear that low, guttural growl rumble out of the darkness, sounding way too damn close? Heed this warning. Don't go out at dusk. Don't walk alone, not even to your car. Lock your doors. Triple lock them. Bar your windows. They can clear a 6-foot fence like it's nothing. Rip through window screens like tissue paper. That scratching at your back door late at night? Not the wind, not some stray branch. Listen harder. Past the frantic hammering of your own heart. Hear it? The wet, ragged panting? Smell it? That decay, seeping through the very wood? They're here. They're real. And they're claiming Ohio, acre by bloody acre. Pray the howl stays distant. Pray your door holds against the weight and the fury. Pray the lights never flicker and die. Because out there, in the deepening Ohio dark, under a moon that offers no comfort, the dogmen are running, and they're starving. Get inside, bolt the door, turn on every light, and pray. Pray they find your neighbor's house first. Pray they're full tonight. But remember, hope is just the last thin taste in your mouth before the teeth close and the world dissolves into pain and tearing sounds. Ohio belongs to them now. You're just pray, run, hide, or pray for a quick death. The dogmen aren't coming. They're already here, and they don't leave leftovers. There is something eating the stray animals in my neighborhood. Okay. Deep breaths. Cass Henderson, 23 Maple Street. It's 2:17 in the morning. I'm recording this because no one believes me. Not the cops, not animal control, not Mrs. Gable next door, who's missing her ancient tabby cat, Mr. Whiskers. They think it's coyotes. Or maybe a sick fox. They're wrong. Dead wrong. It started 3 weeks ago. Mrs. Gable's Mr. Whiskers vanished. Then the Rodriguez twins' beagle, Buster, just gone from his backyard kennel. No hole dug, no fence broken. Then the strays. All of them. Shadow, the three-legged tomcat who lived under the old Miller place. Patches, the mangy calico who'd begged by the bus stop. Even the damn squirrels are scarce now. Just silence. An empty, watching silence. I saw it, last Tuesday. Out my bedroom window, past midnight. Something moving in the alley between our house and the Garcias. Not walking, crawling. Low, too low. Long, impossibly long arms, pale like grubs left under a rock. Skin wet-looking. Shiny under the streetlight glow. It moved wrong. Jerky, like its bones didn't fit together right. And it was dragging something. Something furry. Big. Had to be Mrs. Gable's new stray. The big orange one she called Mr. Fluffkins. It wasn't struggling. Just limp. Ragdoll limp. It stopped. Right under the flickering alley light. Turned its head. God! Its head. Too small for the body. Bald. No ears I could see. Just dark pits where eyes should be. And its mouth, a lipless gash, stretched too wide, showing teeth like broken yellow needles. It lowered its head to the orange fur and bit. Not like an animal tearing meat. Like sucking. Gulping. I heard crunching. Not bone, like cartilage. Wet paper bags and slurping. Horrible, greedy slurping. Then it just flowed backwards into the deeper shadows under the Garcia's porch. Like oil sliding down a drain. Gone. I found the leftovers yesterday. Behind the dumpster in the park. Not Mr. Fluffkins. Something smaller. A possum, maybe? Hard to tell. It was hollowed. Like a kid's Halloween decoration. Skin and fur mostly intact, but empty. Like all the insides had been sucked out. Pressed flat. And the smell. Jesus. Not just decay. Something sharp. Chemical. Like ammonia and burnt hair and copper. So much copper. And the ground. It wasn't just stained. It was etched. Little grooves radiating out from the carcass. Like something with too many sharp points had been kneeling. Or feeding. It's back. Outside. Right now. It knows I saw it. It knows. I feel it listening. Not with ears. With something else. A pressure in the air. Like static before lightning. I boarded up the cat flap. Put salt by the doors like my grandma used to say stupid. So stupid. Salt won't stop that. I looked it up. Online, deep web forums. Crazy people. Or people who have seen things. They call them crawlers. Pale, long-limbed, hungry. Not for meat, for essence. Life force. Bone marrow. The soft, wet centers. They say they're drawn to loneliness. To neglect. To places where things go missing and no one really cares. Like stray animals. Like forgotten people. Oh God, the basement. It's trying the basement. The old coal chute. It's rusted shut, isn't it? Isn't it? I can hear it scratching, scraping, like it's digging. Fast, too fast. Sounds like knives on concrete. It's in. It's in the basement. I locked the basement door. Deadbolt. Chain. Chair under the knob. Please. Please, God, hold. It's exploring. Sniffing? Can it sniff? Oh no, I hear wet snuffling. Like a dog with a rotten nose. Oh no, it's broken through the basement door. Please, God, help me. I'm a cryptid hunter. Something is alive under Yellowstone Park. My name is Dr. Iris Thorne. Or it was. I hunted things. Things that shouldn't exist. Wendigos in the Yukon, the Fresno nightcrawler, shadows and whispers, mostly. But this thing under Yellowstone, it's not a cryptid. It's something older. And it's awake. If you're hearing this, don't come looking. Burn the coordinates. Forget my name. Forget everything. Day 7, Lower Geyser Basin, Sector Theta 9. The disappearances weren't random. Park rangers, geothermal surveyors. Even seasoned cavers. Vanished near steam vents, fumaroles, places the earth bleeds heat. The official reports? Accidents. Geothermal hazards. But the details? Christ, the details. Thermal suits melted from the inside out. Bones found, reshaped. Like putty left near a furnace. Not crushed, molded. My contact, Eli, a grizzled ex-surveyor with eyes perpetually scanning the ground, found the entrance yesterday. Not a cave. A wound. A fissure in a secluded, sulfur-stinking valley, hidden behind a curtain of superheated steam. The air shimmered like a mirage. The rock around the opening. It wasn't just hot. It pulsed. Like a slow, diseased heartbeat you feel in your teeth. Day 8. Descent. Eli refused to go further. Said the mountain was breathing wrong here. Paid him triple. He stayed topside, monitoring our lines. The fissure wasn't natural. The walls. Smooth, almost glassy, fused by impossible heat. No stalactites, no bats, just silence. And a smell. Not sulfur. Rotten meat left in a kiln. Metallic, sweet, cloying. Our helmet lights barely cut the gloom. The deeper we went, the hotter it got. The suit's cooling unit screamed like a dying animal. Day 8 deeper. Found the first remnant. A thermal suit, shredded. Not torn. Dissolved. Like plastic held over a blowtorch. Inside, God. Inside wasn't bones. It was sculpture. Calcium and cartilage fused into a grotesque, elongated shape, still vaguely human, but stretched, twisted, melted into the glassy floor. The skull, elongated into a silent scream, jaw unhinged impossibly wide, eye sockets hollow pits filled with solidified, blackened something. It wasn't burned. It was reforged. That's when the rumbling started. Not from above, from below. Deep, resonant. Felt it in my marrow. Eli's voice crackled over the comms, frantic. Thorne, get out. Seismic spiking off the charts. It's not an earthquake. It's static. Then a wet, gurgling shriek that cut off mid-syllable. Followed by a sound, like 1,000 bones snapping in thick mud. Guttural ripping sound. Then silence from above. Alone, 3 miles down. In the belly of something that didn't just kill. It reshaped. Day 8? Time. Bleeds here. The heat. It's not just air. It presses. It invades. My suit's failing. Alarms are just background noise now. Sweat boils on my skin before it can drip. I see things, shapes in the steam. Not steam. Vapors. Thick, oily, shimmering with internal heat. They coil like serpents made of heat haze. They taste of copper and decay when I breathe. Something moved. Not in the tunnel ahead. Above. On the glassy ceiling. Fast. Too fast. A blur of heat distortion. And angles. Wrong angles. Like broken glass, even predatory intent. My light caught a limb? Not bone. Not chitin. Glowing, semi-molten obsidian, jointed in ways that hurt my eyes. It dripped. Each drop hissed and smoked where it hit the floor, eating into the glass like acid. It knows I'm here. The air thickens, suffocating. My vision swims. The walls, they're breathing, pulsing with that slow, sick rhythm. Veins of incandescent orange light, like magma, throb beneath the black glass surface. This isn't geology. It's anatomy. I'm inside it. I rounded a bend. The tunnel opened into a chamber. My light died then. Didn't matter. The chamber glowed with its own sickly, internal light. Bioluminescence born of geothermal hell. And I saw them. Not bodies. Not anymore. Installations. Grotesque pillars of fused bone and melted rock, reaching from floor to ceiling. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Human forms, vaguely recognizable. An outstretched arm here. A skull frozen mid-screen there, but stretched, warped, incorporated into the living architecture. Veins of glowing orange ichor pulsed through them, feeding into the chamber walls. They weren't dead. Not entirely. I saw movement. A slow, agonized ripple through a fused ribcage. A jaw, unhinged and fused open, trembling silently. This was its larder, its workshop. And in the center, suspended by thick, pulsating cords of glowing sinew that descended from the ceiling, hung Eli, or what was left of him. His lower half was gone, dissolved, absorbed. From the waist up, he was embedded in a mass of quivering, semi-translucent flesh, the color of cooled lava. His eyes were wide, impossibly wide, filled with that same glowing orange ichor. His mouth moved, but no sound came out. Only bubbles of thick, black fluid that popped with tiny screams of steam. He was changing. His skin bubbled, hardening, darkening, taking on the glassy sheen of the walls. His ribs visibly elongated beneath the skin, pushing outwards like emerging spines. It gurgled, black fluid spilling down its chin. See, the gif. His hand, fingers already fusing together into a single, claw-like point, twitched towards me. I looked up. It filled the cavern ceiling. Not a shape, a presence. A shifting, seething mass of darkness and internal fire. Obsidian limbs, dozens, maybe hundreds, unfolded like nightmare origami, dripping that corrosive ichor. Eyes, no, not eyes. Pits of absolute gravitational void rimmed with molten gold opened across its vast, amorphous bulk. They didn't reflect light. They sucked it in. And the heat, it spiked. My suit's visor cracked. I felt my eyebrows singe off. The air burned my lungs with every ragged gasp. It wasn't looking at me. It was looking into me. Into my bones, my cells. I felt a pressure, not physical. A conceptual pressure. The weight of ages. Of stone and fire and time measured in continental shifts. And a hunger, not for flesh, for structure, for form. It wanted to unmake me, to see what new terrible shape my screaming matter could hold. My arm, my left arm, just buckled, like warm wax, no pain. Just a horrifying liquid sensation as the bones softened, bent at an impossible angle, then began to flow. My hand, My fingers were merging, lengthening, the skin darkening, hardening into sharp obsidian shards. The heat was inside me, remaking me. Like Eli. Like the pillars. I ran. Blind. Burning. My mutated arm, heavy and alien, scraped against the glassy wall, leaving a trail of smoking, blackened fluid. I didn't look back. I couldn't. The thing, it didn't chase. It observed. I felt its void eyes on my back, a cold weight amidst the inferno. It knew I couldn't escape. I was already part of its gallery, a work in progress. I found a side passage, narrow, climbing, towards the surface, or just deeper into its guts. I don't know. My comms are dead. My GPS is fried. The heat, it's fading slightly. Or maybe I'm just getting used to it. The arm, it doesn't hurt. It feels strong, sharp, useful. That thought terrifies me more than anything. It's still with me. In me. I can feel it. Thinking. Not thoughts I understand. Thoughts of pressure and heat and slow, inevitable reformation. The mountain's heartbeat is my heartbeat now. It's showing me things. Images in the pulsing veins of light on the walls. Ancient things. Deep things. Things that slept under the stone before the first mammal walked. It's not a cryptid. It's the engine, the sculptor, the thing that cooks the bones of the world. I can hear Eli, not on the comms, in the walls. A chorus of silent screams translated into seismic tremors. He's part of the structure now. Beautiful, eternal, and soon I will be too. My leg just gave way. Feels malleable. I'm falling. Not down, into the rock. It's soft here, warm, welcoming. It parts like thick tar, glowing softly. It wants me inside. To keep me safe, to make me perfect. This is the gift. Eli tried to say, the gift. Don't look down.